And now, if people miss the World Tour, there are a couple more chances to see you live. Tomorrow night, you're in Twickenham.
Yes.
For the Chime for Change?
Chime for Change.
Chime for Change?
Yes, Chime for Change.
And if people can't get to Twickenham, that is also on BBC One tomorrow night at 10:50.
Yes.
That's
Yes. It's true.
You look doubtful.
That's Saturday, actually.
Oh, yeah, which is tomorrow. Because...
You tape ahead. You don't air the same night.
Yeah, right. How popular time travel is. They're like, oh, we're in a different day. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But then, in July 14th, you're in Hyde Park.
I am.
Now, is that just a Jeniifer Lopez concert?
No, I'm actually there. Lionel Richie and I will both be there that night. I guess it's part of a festival that happens in Hyde Park through the summer, yeah?
Okay.
I'm excited about it,
yeah.
actually. I'm doing more of a full show there, probably an hour and a half, something like that.
Finish on time. That's my only tip to you.
Okay.
No, they do. Don't they? They come in.
They shut you down?
Yeah, they just pull a plug.
Yeah, I follow the rules pretty much. That's okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, Freddie Flintoff. I'm told, this is a very big summer for cricket. But I would have thought every summer was big for cricket. So what makes this summer bigger for cricket?
It's the Ashes this summer. We play Australia every 2-3 years. And in our sport, it's probably the biggest prize to beat Australia.
So the Ashes is the big match?
It's this match between Australia and England.
It'd be like the
match.
World Series type thing for baseball.
Yes.
Our World Series are equivalent.
Right, got it.
What are the Ashes? Ashes of what?
You try your nuts off and then the trophy's about that big.
The trophy's like an egg cup.
It's an urn with the Ashes.
You have it?
No, they don't give it us. We've won it.
Yeah, but you don't have it.
Nah, they wouldn't trust it with me.
But it's the Ashes of what?
I'm boring myself now. The first time they were played between England and Australia, they got the bails, they got the stumps, 3 stumps in the grass, and you got to knock them over to get someone out. And on top stands these little things called bails. And then listen to this, right? I get this reaction about cricket everywhere. And the bails on top, and the first time they played together, they burnt them and put them in a little urn. And that is the Ashes. I'd love to make up something more elaborate, but that's...
And that's what you play for, whatever you burnt that was knocked down.
Not enough...
It's effectively an ashtray.
Okay. Not enough sports use the incinerated remains of a tiny piece of sports equipment as their trophy. No. It's surprising that, in football it could be a sort of an old knackered boot. There's too much money in sport and not enough wrecked gear.
No, the other thing is, what strikes me is this is the first time the Ashes have been in Britain since you played. So it's the first time you'll be watching. Having played it for, is it 16 years you were professional?
Yeah, I left school at 16, turned professional, and then retired 2009 when I was 31.
It's a long time to be a professional athlete.
Oh, tell me about it, yeah.
It's a long career.
Yeah, are you glad it's over, or will you miss it?
I still miss it. I think I'll miss it when I'm 50 or 60. It's what I wanted to do since being a child, but it's changed a lot. Because when I first started, it wasn't particularly professional in the mid-90s. There was no real training, and it was very much a social sport. You'd have a pint with the opposition afterwards, and you'd have about 9 more and then play. Where now these guys have become proper athletes. They've got ripped bodies, not like the big beer bellies we used to have. So it's changed a lot, but I love my time. I wouldn't swap it to play now, but I thought I'd have a bit more left in me.
Yeah. And it strikes me, too, that because it's a team sport, that's kind of, even more than playing, that's the bit you miss, is kind of just hanging out. Like
just in the dressing room. The dressing room's amazing, because in cricket, you sit there some days for 5 hours and you don't do out. You watch a bit of TV and catch up on Coronation Street Omnibus, and off you go and have a bat. So, and there's always things going on. It's like a place where adults behave like kids, and then you go home into the real world afterwards. It's good fun. What was the time... Were you a young player when a ball did... Were you not wearing a box or something? No, a box is like a cup. In your tummies.
A jockstrap.
Yeah, jockstrap, but it's like a protective.
It's protective.
Yes.
Yeah, it protects...
Yeah, it's like a cup. Like, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
One of my first games for Lancashire, I was a young professional, not meant to say or do anything. And I was playing, and about second ball, I got hit in the cup, the box. But these things, like, technical
But it
advances...
protected you.
Technical advances in equipment's been good, but the box has remained the same. It's like a soap dish with holes in it. And I got hit in it, and what should have been inside was, like, dangling through the holes. It wasn't pretty, so I went inside, and the coach at the time gave me a pint of ice water to dangle them in, and I was sat there, icing myself. And I put it down, and one of the lads came in. He'd just been doing some training, and he was a bit thirsty, a bit parched. He said, "Oh, Freddie, is that your water?" I said, "Oh, yeah." So, handed it to him, and refreshed himself.
Oh. Disgusting.
Did he comment as to the flavour? Sort of go, this is something about this water. There's something... It's infused with energy.
Isotonic.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing, Freddie, is obviously you have this amazing kind of sporting legacy. You know, the awards, the Ashes, you know, it's an amazing career. As we were saying, it's a really long sports career. And yet, I feel a lot of your legacy, and I don't mean this badly, will sort of be associated with quite, well, liking a drink and not judging in any way. I spent most nights in a dog bed. I'm not even joking. But you really did like hitting the bottle, didn't you?
Yeah. No, there was certain times to do it, which I didn't usually find.
2005, the day after you win the Ashes. Like, this is unbelievable. Was there no one in charge? Was there no one saying, actually, we're going to Downing Street, we really must stop drinking?
Well, no. We'd finished this game against Australia, these Ashes. We keep harping on about these. And after, you have a drink with the opposition. So we're having a drink in the dressing room, and about 11:30 went back to the hotel, and a lot of the lads went into London, down the West End, living it up. But I had mates, so I just stayed in the hotel bar with my mates. It was 8:30 in the morning before I knew it. And the manager came down and said, go and get...
There's big bits of this story missing, aren't there?
For me as well. Well, I went back to my room, and my wife was, she was slightly concerned, and she put me in a bath, and I thought, oh, it must have won yesterday, this is all right, isn't it? She put me in a blazer and tie and put me on a bus, and I thought I was going to school or something. I thought, what's going on? And we got on this bus and went through the streets of London, hundreds of thousands of people. I thought, like, the sales run at Selfridges, it's really busy. And then we went to 10 Downing Street.
OK, we've got a picture of you arriving at 10 Downing Street.
I think you did a good job.
That was me on the left.
We can almost smell you from here.
The worst thing about it was, though, it just get worse. We was on the bus, we went to Lords after that, and about 8:30, I conked out on the bus, fell asleep. And a lot of the lads were getting things signed, so there was marker pens on the bus. And I was getting off, and one of my best mates, Steve Armisen, one of our teammates, as we were getting off the bus, he's put, like, his blazer over my head to shield me from, like, the photographers. It's like Michael Jackson or something. I've gone back to my room, and I've looked in the mirror, and I started wiping the mirror. It was on my head, he'd written "can't" with a U across my forehead, and "twit" with an A down my nose. And that was picked up in all the papers the next day, so another really good day for the family.
I think it was this picture that was in the papers the next day.
I'm gonna go now.
Oh, God.
Because it was indelible ink.
Yeah, I've grown up since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy time. Is it true, the thing about you talking to Cherie Blair?
I asked her what toilet was. I did the toilet, I asked her what a toilet was, and then I had a wander around the house. It's massive inside. I thought it was like a terrace, but it's huge. I got kicked out of the cabinet room. I was sat at the head of the table pretending I was Prime Minister. And I had my feet on the table. Saying, what about you, Home Secretary? And then the guard came and he says, all right, Fred, you've had your fun.
Amazing. Now, I must mention that League of Their Own, it's back in the summer. You've filmed
We filmed a new series. It's great fun, to be honest. It's not like doing a TV show. You just sit with your mates. Jack Whitehall's sat next to me.
Yeah, no, it's a funny show.
Yeah, we turn up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and have wine club and then go and do the show. It's great fun.
He's much better behaved now.
Yeah, it's like...
He has wine club.
Used to be rum.
But listen, we look forward to that series, and here's hoping England can keep the Ashes without you.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Really? They'll be
Yeah,
fine.
they'll be fine.
They'll be fine. Very good. Now, other exciting news. David Mitchell, he's written a book, Jeniifer.
He
has. Now, it used to be in this really awkward hardcover, and it was really quite expensive and heavy to carry. So they've brought out this lighter paperback version.
Love that.
Isn't it good? Look at that.
It's a breakthrough for the media.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, David, walking is kind of the basis of the book in a way, because you go and walk and then he sees things, they remind him of bits of your life and you tell your story that way.
Yeah.
But presumably when you walk around, don't you just get stopped all the time?
No, but I'm largely on Channel 4, you know. It's not what it was. No, I do get stopped a bit, but not... When you're walking around briskly, and it's important to walk around briskly, not that many people take notice of you, but occasionally people do sort of spot me from the television, and usually they say nice things, but it doesn't matter what they say, I'm too socially awkward to enjoy it. Absolutely, in general, every encounter I sort of go into feeling, oh, this is odd, other people are watching, I'm annoying people who haven't noticed me, you know, I'm not coming across as genuine, I'm overthinking this. It's very much a feminine trait. I definitely think it through, and then afterwards I think, oh, I wish I was a nicer person. They're all disappointed. They thought I might be nice, and now they think, oh, he's at best awkward and at worst unpleasant.
But I like in the book you talk about how you get to kind of familiar faces quite early on when you meet Robert Webb and Olivia Colman. Now, Olivia Colman, she's suddenly skyrocketed. She's a fabulous actress. And she was on the show a couple of weeks ago. I so wish I'd read this book before she'd been on. Because I love the story about you were in a play called The Miser with her.
Yes, we were in
Was it theatre and education, going around schools?
Yes, basically. When we just sort of left university, we were doing this tour of production of The Miser going around schools, and there were just 4 of us in it, and we'd been doing it for months and months and months, and we got a bit... We'd lost respect for the... We'd lost respect for the art. You know, it's the worst thing you'd do as an actor. And so we would get quite giggly in this show quite often, particularly as you'd go to a school and sometimes... We went to quite posh schools sometimes where the pupils were extremely obedient, but basically, as far as you could tell, brain dead. They were sort of marshalled in, they'd sit there miserably throughout the whole production and then be marshalled out. So, you know, you weren't even sure that they were still alive while you tried to perform this supposedly funny play. And so, in the absence of any laughter from the audience, we would start to provide it ourselves and become increasingly hysterical during this production. And there was one moment that was a particular problem that would make us all laugh uncontrollably, which is when I would come on stage as a new character wearing a bow tie. And this is a bow tie I'd had to tie in the wings in the dark without a mirror. So I had no real sense of what it looked like. And everyone on stage would be sort of bracing themselves for how stupid this bow tie would look. And it seems like quite a small thing, but if you're incredibly bored of doing a play time after time, all you can think about is, I wonder what David's bow tie will look like today. And it got to the point that whatever it was like, it was hilarious. If it was a bit skew-if, that was hilarious. If it was ridiculously misshapen, that was hilarious. If it was fine, that was even more hilarious. And on one particularly dismal performance at a school with particularly brain-dead children, I came on stage with the bow tie in some way... I never saw what it was like myself. And Olivia Colman pissed herself. Just literally opened her bladder there in the middle of the scene. And it was... I've never before or since have I seen anyone actually piss themselves live. And there's a lot more piss in a human than you'd expect. really... There was really loads.
Did the kids react?
As far as I can remember, they didn't really react.
Did they not notice?
No, I don't think they did. I noticed. I particularly noticed the point when it started to overflow her shoes. And at that point, I realised that the stage was rigged. It started to head gradually towards the front row, but they never seemed to notice at all.